Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and tonight from Ballpark Village and the AT&T rooftop deck, it's the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest. Last time we were here, we were washed out, but not tonight. We're set to go. It's a beautiful evening for baseball here in the Gateway City. And along with Al Roboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Rick Horton and Pat Paris are here as well, and Jim Hayes, and so many others. The fans have gathered here at the AT&T rooftop deck, and this is a great experience for fans.
It really is. You know, as a player, I always wanted to get thrown out of a game and then sit out in the bleachers. Well, this is the next best thing and the closest thing to it. So we're going to have a lot of fun, not only with a great game with two good teams, but also with a lot of fans.
Yeah, it should be interesting, too. Two of the best teams right now in Major League Baseball. The St. Louis Cardinals, the best record in the game. It's the Cardinals, it's the Royals, it's next. And the Kansas City Royals, and these two will square off tonight. We'll start with Chris Young. He's making $675,000. John Lackey, the major league minimum, $500,000. Relatively cheap in baseball terms, and these two have performed this year. Chris Young, big right-hander, gets the call tonight for the Kansas City Royals. And John Lackey, the veteran right-hander for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals, a makeup game. We're at the AT&T rooftop. Should be a lot of fun. Baseball comes your way next. Royals, and these two will square off tonight. We'll start with Chris Young. He's making $675,000. John Lackey, the major league minimum, $500,000. Relatively cheap in baseball terms, and these two have performed this year. Chris Young, big right-hander, gets the call tonight for the Kansas City Royals. And John Lackey, the veteran right-hander for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals, a makeup game. We're at the AT&T rooftop. Should be a lot of fun. Baseball comes your way next. Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. So who do they root for tonight? I'm not sure. Half St. Louis, half Kansas City, as John Lackey in the throwback uniforms will pitch against this lineup of the Kansas City Royals, a very talented group from Kansas City. They are 57-36. They've won 7 of their last 10 and 2 in a row. It'll be Escobar, then Moustakas and Kane here in the first inning. Long home run off the bat of Eric Hosmer last night. Then Salvador Perez, an all-star. Rios, Infante, Dyson, and the pitcher Chris Young. No DH, so no Kendrys Morales tonight. He'll come off the bench for the Kansas City Royals. And John Lackey, he's off the bench to start tonight for the Cardinals.
Yeah, interesting that this is the makeup from the June 14th game, and both starters tonight were the ones that were scheduled that day. John Lackey gets a chance to pitch here at home, where he's been outstanding. 7 straight games he has started and not allowed more than 2 runs, and pitching very well here. Since coming to St. Louis, 7-2 with the ERA just over 2. This year, 6-2 with an ERA of 1.91.
So good, as you mentioned, Al, right here at home. So Kansas City and St. Louis, what do you think? This could be a playoff postseason preview in the World Series as you get a look at Kendrys Morales, and that bat is not in the lineup tonight. And he's the one that connected off of John Lackey in Kansas City.
Well, Dan, why don't we make all the baseball world unhappy and have a repeat of the 1985 World Series? They're wearing the uniforms of the 85. Both teams throwback uniforms. Both teams the best 2 teams in baseball.
The Cardinals, the first team to 60 wins after their dramatic victory last night. They're now 60-34. And the lead in the National League Central has grown to 6. The first pitch followed back by Alcides Escobar. 6:15 first pitches, and we've talked about this an awful lot, but for the second baseman, definitely the right fielder, it is a tough Sun field. And quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, we know how Lackey always pitches first pitch strike. Sometimes he can throw too many of them, and the Royals have been one of the teams that jump on him early in the count.
0-2 the count on Escobar. The shortstop, slick fielder, hitting .292. And 3 pitches and a strikeout for John Lackey to start the night. You're asking, what does John Lackey feature? And here it is in the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
A lot of fastballs, the 4-seamer and the sinkers. Then he'll throw that slider primarily as a second pitch. But it's kind of whatever's working that day. He'll use it and incorporate it, and he'll throw from different arm angles also.
You'll even see him quick pitch a little bit.
He's an old guy, gray beard.
Here's Moustakas. Bounce back year for him. With 10 home runs, he's driven in 39 as we come to you tonight from the AT&T rooftop deck here at Busch Stadium. The 2-0 pitch. Popped foul and out of play. Here at the rooftop deck, there's over 300 tickets available for every game. And we'll be promoting the fact that there is a special television deal for you. Rockies on August 2nd. Giants August 17th. Giants on August 19th. 2 games against the Nationals and 2 games against the Reds. $79 for your tickets, and it's all inclusive from the AT&T rooftop deck. Go to cardinals.com/TV. 3-1 pitch taken just a bit low. And Lackey thought he had strike 2. So here it is, those games that are available for you, and the specially priced $79 ticket for the AT&T rooftop deck.
That comes all inclusive, right?
All
Buffet
inclusive.
and everything else. They'd lose money on Jim Hayes. The way he can eat.
Jim is right here. He's He's right behind you, Al. You thought he was down in the field, in the dugouts.
He's going to be working today for the first time in a while.
Here's Lorenzo Cain. Cain is hitting .315, 10 home runs. He's driven in 45.
Starting to get some recognition for league honors. He's a very good ball player.
Sure is. Lackey would love that ground ball to double play. And it's a fly ball driven out to deep right field. Jason Hayward makes the catch, battling the sun. And back to the bag at first goes Moustakas. A look at the Cardinals defensively tonight, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Holiday, Grichuk, and Hayward in the outfield. Carpenter and Peralta on the left side of the infield. Wong and Dan Johnson on the right side. Molina is behind the plate. And it brings in Eric Hosmer. We thought Steven Piscotty was going to get that start at first base.
Well, he was in the lineup and apparently had a stiff neck, and it cost him an assignment. I'm sure his family, extended family, was all disappointed. It's going to be his home debut. He did pitch a couple games, or play in left field a couple games in Chicago.
So 2 outs, no balls, and 1 strike on Eric Hosmer. Hosmer, an outstanding defensive player. He, along with Moustakas, the experience of last year's postseason that's carried over to this regular season.
5-game hitting streak and has been on fire since the break. We've got to thank these Royals. They helped out the Cardinals.
Did they ever?
2 out of 3 against the Pirates. Pirates 1-5 since the break.
That tough final 2 games of the first half is now a distant memory.
Right. So much for momentum, huh?
Yeah. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Molina setting up low, outside, hits his spot, and it's hit out of play.
And one of the things I noticed about a lot of these Royals, when you think you have 2 strikes against them, don't let up, because most of them have very good batting averages with 2 strikes. And they've been swinging the bat very well.
I think the question right now with Kansas City, do they have enough starting pitching?
They got the bullpen.
In on the hands of Hosmer. Bullpen is widely considered the best in the American League. They carried that ball club a year ago to 1 win away from the World Series. If you're Kansas City, you're thinking, well, if I can get a starter to give us 6 innings, we can win the game any night.
No doubt. Very, very tough. They have a lead.
1-2 pitch. On the ground. Ways to go there for Wong, and safe at first. He was shifted towards the right field line, so Hosmer is aboard. And 2 on, 2 outs for Perez.
Percentage wise, it tells you to make the shift. Put your second baseman out there in short right field. But you can see if he's playing normal positioning, he would have just gobbled that one up and it would have been a little simple routine play. But percentage wise, it dictates that that's how to play it. Every now and then you'll get beat by it.
Wouldn't that drive you nuts as a pitcher? You just made a good pitch against a very good hitter to get a weak ground ball.
And Dan, I think that's, some people think they need to start doing that in the low minor leagues to get pitchers to think that way and not be come up here and be surprised.
This guy's a good player, durable too. Salvador Perez grew up idolizing Yadier Molina. 2 on, 2 outs. And the 0-1 pitch. These are truly the 2 workhorses of the 2 leagues.
Yeah, very durable, and Perez has really become a very good offensive player.
Remember how Yadi started too in his career. Known for the glove and the arm and not the bat. Long look and a 1-1 pitch.
Lackey, this is the third start where he's been opposed by a pitcher equal or older in age. First it was A.J. Burnett, who's 38, then Bartolo Colon, 42, and now Chris Young, who is also 36, like Lackey.
Fouled back and a good cut. Just thinking the other day, does John Lackey return to St. Louis?
I think he's made a strong case. He pitched much better this year than when he was acquired last year at the All-Star break. I think he's got the good temperament. I think he's a good guy to have in that clubhouse to help the younger pitchers. And the way he's pitched, he deserves it.
1-2 pitch. That ball scoots away from Molina, but the runners do not advance.
But when you're talking about a 36-year-old starter, you're just going to have to finish strong too.
The question will be, I think, with Lackey, and now you're getting into that time frame in the summer. You start thinking about this, and certainly with the trade deadline and how you build for next year too, and think about this year. The question will be, at that age, do you feel comfortable in a multi-year deal? That's something I think you have to think about if he wants that.
Well, he obviously, after pitching for the minimum, he probably feels he deserves it, and it's hard to argue with that. But he honored his contract, and he had that clause in it. Signed a long-term contract with Boston, but it had a clause in there that if he had a significant injury and he had Tommy John, that the 1 year he would get the major league minimum, and that's what the Cardinals are paying him this year.
Runners off with this pitch. Long look, the 3-2 by Lackey as Perez chased ball 4. Royals, when you look at their team offensively, we mentioned the better years by Hosmer, better years certainly for Moustakas. Escobar is hitting close to 300, but it's a team that doesn't have a lot of power and a team that doesn't walk all that much either.
Yeah, they are 15th.
And a base hit out to left. A run will score, and it's 1-0 Kansas City. Perez with RBI number 40, and the Royals jump out on top. The center of attention, the center of the baseball world looking at this game tonight, I'm sure with great interest. Two of the best teams right now in baseball.
See that they have a 7-game lead over Minnesota, the biggest lead in any division. Cardinals right behind, 6 ahead of Pittsburgh.
Runners at the corners now for Rios.
Rios is starting to hit now. He missed significant time with a broken finger, and that's really helped their offense, is having another strong bat in the lineup.
Just 2 home runs this year. The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He homered last Friday afternoon in Chicago, and that snapped 157 at bat dinger drought. He's hit 345 his last 15 games. Got a 5-game hitting streak. Missed 7 weeks with that broken finger.
One ball and 2 strikes with 2 runners on. And a line drive base hit into right center field. 2-0 Kansas City. Rios with RBI number 15. Oh, we showed you that graphic. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. A .281 team average for Kansas City, and we're seeing why now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're very tough when they get 2 outs, a couple strikes on, and there you see not a bad pitch, down and away on the black, but better piece of hitting.
Here's Infante, who's hitting .231 with no home runs, 25 RBIs. All-Star voting, he was the leading vote getter at second base for a number of weeks, and then that changed. I think people around baseball are saying, okay, this has gone too far.
And he's looking for his first hit this year against the Cardinals. 0 for 15 in interleague play against the Redbirds.
0-1 pitch is pulled left side. Force play at third, and Carpenter beats his man to the bag. AT&T rooftop deck. Come on, get excited up here. It's only a half inning. Put his headset back on. What do I have to do between innings? Pay attention now.
I'm talking to the fans. They're closer to me than you.
It's Wong, Carpenter, and Holiday, followed by Peralta, Hayward, Molina, Grichuk, Johnson, and Lackey. To put you in the cage between innings. Let you come back out when the action starts.
Oh, man, you'd be doing me a favor.
What do we know about Chris Young?
Well, we know he's old. He's 6'10", and he has the third slowest fastball, but it really is a very, very effective pitch for him. And kind of like the, we talk about Michael Wacha being able to throw in that downward plane. Will add 4 more inches in height, and Chris Young has been able. He signed him with the Royals first week in March. I think it was March 7th, and had trouble getting a job. Started in long relief. This is his 15th start, and he's been doing a good job. And for some reason, he pitches much better on the road.
Here's an 0-1 pitch to Wong. The Royals do have issues with their starting pitching. Vargas is hurt now. Ventura was on the way. The hard-throwing right-hander was on his way to the minor leagues. And now he's back up.
He never left Kansas City, but it was a day after he was demoted that Vargas, who'd just come off the disabled list, was re-injured himself. I think it was the second inning. He hurt the elbow, and looks like Tommy John surgery for him.
That's it out of play. 1-2 the count. Just wonder this next week how active both these teams will be at the trade deadline. It's a fun time of year.
It is. You get to play general manager and think how you would improve a ball club.
As you like to say over the last 18 years to me.
You like to spend other people's money.
Thank you very much. I'm good at that.
You are very good at that.
Ramos Ramirez going back to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Interesting, isn't it?
Sure is. Where it all began for him. He has said he's going to retire after this season. He has $6 million left on the deal, and I believe that was split in half down the stretch between the two teams. With Josh Harrison out, Rodriguez probably not an everyday player. They pick up Ramirez, who can be a very good bat. You just wonder how motivated he is and what's left in that tank.
Well, I would imagine, and he's starting to hit. the last few weeks he's been hitting. He has great numbers against the Cardinals. I think that was part of the factored in. But it's kind of the disappointing aspect with Stephen Piscotty, who was supposed to play first base tonight, but had a stiff neck and was scratched. Because I think the Cardinals are trying to see what could he do in these last few days.
And Wong hits that ball into right field. The catch is made by Rios. Hyundai pitch arsenal for Chris Young. That was a 9-pitch at bat by Wong. Four-seamer, the slider, and the changeup presented by Hyundai.
And just think of something, say hard, because normally you think of a fastball and a slider as hard pitches, but at his velocity, it's really not that hard. But for some reason, it seems like people are having a tough time centering the ball against him.
I want to go back to what you were talking about with Stephen Piscotty, and I'd be curious what you think. It would be a small sample size to watch him for 7 to 10 days up here and say, well, we think we know what we might have with him, so that alters what we're looking at the trade deadline. Do you think that's happening at all?
Well, I think it was part of the plan, is bring him up this time to see if he is an internal option that is worthwhile. Again, you can also see on the other side, and John Mosey, like the Cardinal general managers, talked about, he really doesn't want to have a big name or somebody, because he does want the competition for Adams. He wants Adams to believe that it's his job next year. And you kind of look at first base. You're not getting a lot of production. You do have Mark Reynolds over there. Adams more than likely out for the entire year. So you were thinking about a left-handed hitting first baseman that you might go out and acquire.
2-1 pitch. Carpenter hits a fly ball into right. Rios into the corner, and that ball is out of play.
And Dan, I think there's some sentiment where maybe you were to look at possibly a Ramirez and play third base, and then you got Carpenter that could play first base or spell him whenever he needed to or whatever, but kind of juggle guys around because of their versatility.
Yeah, I think people overlook that too. I think you say, well, Adams is out, you got to get a first baseman, but the versatility of Carpenter allows you to at least take a look at third baseman if you wanted to go in that direction. And it's popped up here. Moustakas puts it away for out number 2. Take a look at the Royals defensively, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Dyson, great speed in left. Kane in center. Rios is in right. Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, and Hosmer along the infield, and Perez behind the plate, a Gold Glover. This is a tremendous defensive club.
And I was going to say that that helps out your pitching staff, just by having very good defensive players. Chris Young's kind of a prime example. He doesn't strike out very many, so guys put the ball in play, and he'll record a lot of outs because of the very good defense by the Royals.
Holiday didn't like that call.
And then Dan, there's the other side of the coin too, where you say, wait a minute, the Cardinals have the best record in baseball.
Right.
They got Holiday back. You wouldn't have acquired a bigger bat than Holiday at the trade deadline. Really, do you need to go out and maybe possibly flirt with, change the chemistry, which is excellent in that clubhouse? You could tweak it here and there, but you don't want to give up key prospects also.
Historically, John Mozeliak, if he can find a player that he deals for, it's for the remainder of this year and beyond.
Yes. And you've got Belisle and you got Walden, that 2 relievers that possibly are eventually would be coming back, and that's going to help out the relief corps and spell some of the innings that are piling up on some of the guys. You've got Jaime Garcia and Marco Gonzalez. They're getting closer. So, really you are going to get some internal help.
3-2 pitch is popped back and foul. Holiday at 302. He's hit 4 homers. He's driven in 30 this year.
And, of course, everybody, all Cardinal Nation wants to trade for Kershaw and give up one of our new bat boys.
Sounds like a good
deal to me.
Sounds
like a good deal to me, too. But May not happen.
Probably not. 2-out walk to Holiday, and it brings in Johnny Peralta. First walk issued by Young, first base runner for the Cardinals. So Ramos Ramirez, 247, 11 homers this year. He drove in 42. Boy, there are days we would watch Ramirez in Pittsburgh, and you'd wonder how much longer is he going to be in the big leagues when he first got there.
He was an easy target, but he changed course when he went to Chicago, and then he was most recently with Milwaukee. He became a very, very good player and phenomenal numbers against the Cardinals.
Yeah. Here's an 0-1 pitch. In Pittsburgh, back when Ramirez went to Chicago, really did them a favor. Randall Simon was part of a deal. Kenny Lofton, part of those very good Cub teams back with Dusty Baker. Here's an 0-2 pitch, and Peralta hits it in the air out to right center field. Lorenzo Cain is there. We'll tell you about some of the great treats that they have here at the AT&T rooftop deck. Treats, dinners, lunches, they got it all. Jim Hayes will tell us all about it when we come back. Hey, we're back at the AT&T rooftop deck. You know, Al, last inning I was giving you trouble because you weren't ready, and apparently we both weren't ready to come back.
Oh, we were watching Jim eat.
We're getting ready for Jim. Am I supposed to throw it to you now, Jimmy? All right, Jim Hayes, take it away.
You're the boss, Dan. This is some of the fare available downstairs at Cardinal Nation, right here at Ballpark Village. I'm with the executive chef of Cardinal Nation, William Ortman. So tell us what we're looking at here, Chef William.
We have our house pulled pork sandwich with Asian slaw and crispy fried onions. We have our ballpark burger with American cheese, caramelized onions, and a split hot dog. And then we have our bacon and blue cheese chips with house fried chips, queso blanco cheese, crumbled bacon, and blue cheese and scallions.
So you brought out the diet platters.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I like the hot dog on the hamburger. That's a nice touch. Who comes up with that kind of idea?
We just kind of brainstorm in the kitchen. It's what we eat when we're not busy.
And what's on the chips here?
Bacon, blue cheese, our house queso, and scallions.
So you guys are sitting around and you go, the chips are great, but we could use some bacon, some cheese, some queso on there.
Well, yeah, that's about how it goes.
It looks great. All right, let me ask you this. The most popular thing at Cardinal Nation downstairs, I'm talking overall popularity, maybe something we're not seeing on the table right here.
our nachos. Definitely one of the best items. Big portions, house fried chips, house made queso. Definitely top seller and our biggest item.
Cardinal fans have healthy appetites, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. We're definitely a nacho town.
Well, the food looks great. Thanks for showing it off to us.
Thank you.
Dan, I'm going to get some of this now, and you know that's true.
Jim, that gentleman is passionate about his food. You get the plates of food there, Al, and then you get the number of a heart doctor coming out of here. There's a strike to Escobar.
Could you imagine the mad scientist Jim the Cat Hayes in the kitchen trying to help them come up with ideas? Wow.
I think our chef was mesmerized with Jim in that interview. He can be intimidating. You know that, Al.
Excuse me, you've got to forgive him. He's eating.
One ball and two strikes. Strikeout for Lackey. Number 3 tonight for John. 2 in the inning. Royals on top midway through 2. Deck. And let's take a look to Al and our Toyota keys to the game.
Well, something's got to give with these two gray beard starters. Lackey is much better at home, 6-2, 1.91 ERA. And Young is much better on the road, 4-1, 1.73 ERA on the road. But you got to get an early lead, and of course the Cardinals are down 2-0. Check out these numbers. The Royals, when they have taken a lead going into the 8th inning since 2014, they have a record of 115-1.
Say that again.
If they have the lead going into the 8th inning since the beginning of 2014, their record is 115-1.
Wow. Hayward pulls it into shallow right, and that ball will drop for a base hit. Not a very good jump by Rios, and it drops in for the hit. And the Cardinals have their first hit.
Batting sixth, number 4, catcher Yadier Molina.
Big hit for Molina last night. The triple. Cardinals took a lead and then won the ball game.
Bases clearing, stand-up triple.
And you had mentioned before the pitch that the right fielder was playing way in.
Yeah, Garcia was playing way in, and he was well off the line. Yachty had a great approach, told Jim Hayes that he was looking for a cutter away. He got the pitch, kind of just threw the bat at it, hit it down the right field line, and cleared the bases. The Cardinals were losing 2-0 at the time. It gave them the 3-2 lead, a stand-up triple, and you can see his numbers against Chris Young. He likes that, and Yachty's always so popular, but boy, he made the big hit last night.
Here's an 0-1 pitch.
Look at that jump.
Hayward to second and safe.
.14 steal in 16 attempts. Got a great jump off of Chris Young. And then Perez, who's a good thrower, made it look a lot closer. But you see late with the tag. Infante scooped the ball in the dirt. And that's really key with Yachty, too. Remember the other day, Sunday, he hit into 3 double plays. So you can send that runner ahead of him, clear that first base. Now he can just drive him in.
You think about the difference of a guy that throws 95 as opposed to what we're seeing now, and he's 6'10", a little bit slower to the plate. And it's that half second as Molina loses the bat, but that half second, Al, that allows you to think about sending Jason Hayward as opposed to some of the hard throwers they have.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Dan, because, you know, when you're 6'10", you're going to be a little slower foot. Of course, he's a great athlete, very good basketball player. And, you know, Jason Hayward got a great jump. Here's last night. Look at this throw. Throws that ball right down in the corner. Garcia had to track it down. Cosmo, who pinch ran for Holiday, he scores. Hayward scores. And Yachty with a stand-up triple. 3 runs scored in that play.
A pickoff, and Hayward is back in safely. It's those kind of moments you think about when you get through with the season of a championship team.
Remember, it was the closer, and Robertson, a very, very good pitcher. And he came in there in the 8th inning with 2 outs, bases loaded, and Yachty beat him.
We saw him last season with the Yankees, and he was nasty. 1-2 pitch. Popped foul and out of play. Some of the food that they have here at the AT&T rooftop. First floor restaurant. 2-story restaurant and bar.
Very nice buffet.
Every non-game day on a Sunday, they have a brunch that includes a ticket to the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum. And again, we have that special TV deal happening tonight for $79. Cardinals.com/TV. That's available only through our telecast tonight. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Yadier Molina. Fly ball out to right. Rios makes the catch. Tagging up Jason Hayward from second to third.
That's a big play. Get over to third base with just 1 out. So productive out for Molina. Cut into that 2-run lead. Slider right there and down and away. And you know, when Yachty goes to right field, at times he's gotten a little bit away from that, but the triple last night and then that productive out there that he hit well, you know, it just sets the tone.
Pitch to Grichuk is taken for a strike. That's the one thing, too, Al, when you come to the rooftop deck, you get a great view of the game.
Absolutely. So much fun to come across here and see our little perch.
Your view's usually not blocked.
Then Ken Allgaier walks in front of you and you can't see for about 2 days.
2-1 the count. Runner at third is Hayward. Two and two. The 2-2 pitch upstairs to Randall Grichuk.
One thing we see from this viewpoint is look at the big gap out in left center here with Grichuk.
A chance to put the Cardinals on the board. The 3-2 pitch hit out of play.
Randall was just 1 for 9 in the Chicago series, but earlier in the week had an 8-game hitting streak snapped where he's batting over 400. And he's holding his own, you know, getting a chance to play every day and doing well.
A 3-2 pitch, and Grichuk hits it out to deep left field. At the track, at the wall, it's gone, and this game is tied. Randall Grichuk with home run number 10.
That's why we want him in that lineup every day, because he has that power potential. Mentioned he's holding his own. This is 49th start for him. He's batting about 280, 16 doubles, 6 triples, now 9 home runs and 31 RBIs in those 49 games.
Now it's Dan Johnson. Obviously the smoke from the fireworks. Johnson hitting 200. No home runs, 2 RBIs, his second start as a Cardinal.
Well, the very first start he had as a Redbird in Chicago, we were supposed to be against Richards, left-hander, or excuse me, it was a right-hander, and then they replaced him with a left-hander, and Johnson got 2 hits and 2 RBIs off the lefty right off the bat.
Just hearing you go through the numbers of Randall Grichuk, you start thinking about what would these numbers look like with 130 starts.
Exactly, and you start to take notice where rankings are in the rookies.
Johnson with a fly ball, and Rios near the line makes the catch in shallow right. Let's take you back to the home run.
He wanted it away, and he left it in the middle of the plate. And he just gave it a ride. The question was going to be, was it stay fair or not? The ball just jumps off his bat. You're starting to see his numbers are starting to match up against just about any rookie in the National League now.
I was talking with John Mozeliak the other day, and I said, what attracted you to Grichuk? When you got to the deal with Freese and Borges, why did you like Grichuk? And he said, that reason there. Hit speed, 98.4 off the bat. And really, this has become popular in the last year or two. The Cardinals were looking at this the last 3 to 5 years when they evaluate a player. Very interesting.
And it's really still something relatively new. The Major League average is, right, high 80s, somewhere around there. I think the highest one they've seen recorded ever is like 115, 117, something like that.
Here's the hit speed, 98.4 off the bat of Randall Grichuk. Yanking it down the left field line in one swing. The power of Grichuk has tied it up. It's 2-2 after 2 on Fox Sports Midwest. With the A's taking on the Giants. Then at 6, the Braves and the Cardinals. And a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1. The coverage begins at 3, only on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 2-2 as we move to the top of the third.
Darryl Porter, number 15 back in '85, right?
Thinking about this Saturday, too. Martinez and Miller. What a matchup that'll be. You know, the Cardinals had to take a look at acquiring a right fielder after the death of Oscar Taveras. Upton was available. Hayward was available. And this is driven out to deep right center field. And the catch made by Randall Grichuk. They go with Hayward, but they had to give up a very good young pitcher that was figuring out that cutter at the end of last year, and that's Miller. The Cardinals kept Carlos Martinez.
They also wanted Carlos to go into the rotation, so that was part of the equation. But I think you go back to, you know, you felt like you could make that trade. You had plenty of young starting pitching, so you felt like, yeah, Nova Shelby was going to be a very good pitcher, but you were getting a good player in return. But I think it also kind of tells you, too, that once again, you never have enough pitching. So another reason why to think about Lackey for next year.
You think about Hayward for next year. Is he in the plans for the Cardinals? Be very interested to find out what his true value is. You know, a young player that's hitting free agency at an incredibly young age. Is he a power guy? Is he a speed guy? We know the defense.
All I know is he's fit in very, very well. Almost from day one, he felt very comfortable in the Cardinal clubhouse. He's been welcome here, and I think he, you know, the Cardinals felt the best selling job they could was to bring him here, play in this environment. We'll just have to wait and see if that swings the deal.
2-2 the count.
The big question is, do you listen to your heart or do you listen to your agent?
He's in that unique spot too, where he can hit free agency again after a big deal and still be in the prime of his career.
Sure. 25.
I think that's the other thing from the Cardinals' perspective you have to think about too. Has he hit his prime yet? Is he the player he's going to be? Is this it?
Well, used to say your prime was 28 to 32. I think some of that now, you got to make it even younger and maybe extend it. Players are so much bigger, stronger. They come up with a greater knowledge, and then they take such good care of themselves that they can, extend their careers many more years on the other side.
2-2 the count. Kane fly to right, first time up. A 2-2 game here in the top of the third. And again, he hits it out of play. Royals are built to win this year. The Cardinals are. Yankees won again today with a sweep. They're now 53-41. Their lead is at 6 in the American League East. Just missed in. Kansas City, as Al told you, the biggest lead in any division of baseball, 7.5 games. Angels now lead by 2 over Houston. The American League West. Washington, 3-game lead over New York. Broken bat, slowly hit. Peralta has to hurry to first and out. Kane looking into the dugout to see if the Royals want to challenge this. We'll take another look.
Jammed him a little bit so we didn't get a good quick start out of there. Very close, and we're going to have a challenge. Always worry when you see somebody stride like that, hit that front part of the bag, and roll an ankle. I think he is too. Safe. It shouldn't take long. Rusty Kuntz there, first base coach. Very good outfield instructor. Bill Cuzzy is the first base umpire. Gary Davis, St. Louis, and now lives in Wisconsin, is the crew chief. He's on the right.
So base hit for Kane.
So it's a 1-out base hit. Always shows, pays off when you hustle.
So there'll be 1 out and a runner at first. Brings in Hosmer. 2-2 as we play here in the top of the third. And a ground ball hit to the right side. Fair. Johnson steps on the bag. Kane is trying to figure out what to do, and now he's tagged out.
And Hosmer's complaining it's a foul ball, and so we might have another review. Looks like he's going to lose.
Kane basically stopped between first and second. He couldn't believe that that ball was even in play. Here's a look on the line there.
I think he's got a good argument, but it's not reviewable until it gets past the bag, isn't it?
So Ned Yost has a few words with the home plate umpire Will Little and Phil Cuzzy, and the inning comes to a close. Chris Young is out throwing. The rest of his team still in the dugout. 2-2 midway through 3. To get your specially priced $79 AT&T rooftop deck ticket for select games in August and September. And that's where we're at tonight, along with Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Folks enjoying themselves. Early start in the makeup date between the Cardinals and the Royals. 2-2 our score here in the bottom of 3. It's a 9-pitch at bat. First time up for Colton Wong as he flied out to right. And the 1-1. Young already at 50 pitches tonight.
Just doesn't seem like he goes real deep into ball games, but we talked about their good bullpen. You don't have to.
And a 2-1 pitch. Taken outside and low. You just wonder what Jim Hayes is up to. What great guest will he come up with next? The 3-1 pitch is popped up. Perez will give it a look, and it's out of play. Give me that look for it.
He's in his element over here. There's food around.
The 3-2 pitch, and that's driven into right field. And a base hit. Six is a serious number and on the run. The Cardinals score 6, get any size drink, just 50 cents the next day. That's coffee fountain, frozen drinks. When they score, you pour at your nearest on the run. You know why? You earned it. Wong is 1 for 2, and it brings in Carpenter. Cardinals have tried just about everything to get Carpenter going, putting him back in the leadoff spot, dropping him down to 7th in the lineup. Average coming into play tonight at 256, and he looks at strike 1.
He's been such a good hitter in interleague play.
And against these Kansas City Royals, well above 300. Wong is a threat to steal. They did that earlier with Hayward. The 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2. Braves in town tomorrow. Friday and Sunday, we'll have those games for you on Fox Sports Midwest. That means the return of the great Chip Caray to the Gateway City. Longtime voice of the Braves. "17 games for Carpenter and a .391 average against the Royals. That included a 5-for-5 performance at Kauffman Stadium a year ago. The check on Wong as he dives back in safely.
Time by Carpenter. Through May 31st, he had a .318 average, 17 doubles, 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, 34 runs scored. Since June 1st, 179. There's 4 doubles, 1 home run.
And Carpenter hits a high fly ball into right field. Rios is back at the wall, and it's gone! The second 2-run homer for the Cardinals tonight. This one puts him on top, and it's 4-2.
Bringing that information up because Carpenter started showing some signs recently that he's starting to get back to where he was very productive. He goes, the Cardinals go, at least offensively, and such a hard worker. Sometimes you need to relax a little bit, and his mindset is just to work even harder. But nobody works harder than Carpenter.
A single and now a 2-run homer. And here's Holiday as he chops that foul.
With all the struggles Carpenter's had recently, you know, he's 1 RBI away from Peralta in the team leadership, 48.
He got off to just that incredible start.
Yeah.
Month and a half, 2 months into the season, he would have been in your conversation for MVP.
You know, the first series against the Royals, Carpenter was 5 for 10, double, home run, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. And then this series, the continuation of the one that ran out of June 14th, it was just 1 for 8 until that blast. So we got a couple home run hitters, and that's always fun to see.
Cardinals not known for their power, known for their doubles, though. And that's one way to look at the power of this team. Not necessarily with the home run, but with the doubles. Extra base hits. As Carpenter connects on home run number 10. Grichuk with number 10 earlier.
Cardinals have, what, 8 guys, 30 or more RBIs.
Screamer out to left and off the base of the wall. You can't hit a ball any harder than Matt Holliday just did.
When we showed the hit speed of Grichuk's home run earlier, Grichuk and Holliday, usually they're going to hit at highest velocity. And as you see him just turn on this one, down and in, drops that bat head, low ball hitter, and he scorched it. Just didn't. It's a prime example there. He hits that ball as good and probably better than both home runs, but it's just a line drive. Sometimes they'll carry out, but you know, he hit that ball better than the home runs. It just didn't get any altitude.
Now it brings in Peralta. Day in and day out, you see that lineup. You see Johnny Peralta in it. Very steady defensively, and obviously he's put up great numbers at the plate.
You know, his personality is just steady. You know, he's
never seen much emotion from him.
I mean, 5 for 5, you know, 0 for 5, whatever. You just same steady person, very consistent.
That surprises me a little bit. 239 with runners in scoring position, and yet leads the club with 48 RBIs. That pitch is popped up. Foul territory and taken by Hosmer. Playing fantasy baseball, MLB.tv serves up real-time highlights, pitch tracking info, and your out-of-market fantasy players live or on demand on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Bo Hart jersey.
Yeah, Bo Hart made it.
Bo still lives in Memphis.
Memphis, right?
Here's Jason Hayward. And a ground ball that's hit to the right side. 2 down. I'm sure it'll be an exciting weekend for Jason Hayward and his former teammates coming to town.
Sure it will be. Big crowds expected, so that'll be a lot of fun this weekend.
It brings in Yadier Molina. And that ground ball from Jason Hayward was what we saw in the first month of the season.
Right.
Time and again.
Second base.
I don't know if you saw this or heard Terry Collins after the series was done with the Mets over the weekend. He said he had more hits to the opposite field than he did all of the last 2 seasons against us.
Yes, I heard that. Kept on taking the ball to left field. Talking about Hayward and Yachty. Think about the triple last night. His base hit, or the not base hit, but the line drive that he hit out to right the first time that advanced Hayward to third. Yachty's, I like it when I see him do that.
The 2-0 pitch is driven out to right center, and there's Lorenzo Cain. Cardinals had a 2-run homer from Randall Grichuk back in the second inning. Little tip of the cap after this 2-run shot for Matt Holliday, or rather Matt Carpenter. Holliday left stranded. It's 4-2. First rewind, and Randall Grichuk with a home run. And moments ago, it was Matt Carpenter, both 2-run homers, and the Cardinals have a lead of 4-2. We're coming to you from the AT&T rooftop deck. Cardinals.com/TV to take a part of these special tickets throughout our telecast. And there's a strike to Perez. One ball, one strike on Salvador Perez. A single his first time up and an RBI. Both the runs scored for Kansas City came with 2 outs in the first, and since then Lackey has settled in.
And that's happens frequently with a lot of guys that kind of take themselves a little time to get acclimated to the mound, or get their feet under control, and they get out of that first inning, and then they kind of dial it in. And that's been the case here with Lackey. And he's been so consistent. Last 7 starts, going 7 innings, 6 times, and the one time he didn't, he went 6 2/3.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Perez. There's nothing like getting a nice note from a fan, Al, and you look on the other side and it's one of their reminder notes to go pick up Lysol wipes, garbage bags, and get an oil change, and also get some gas.
I think they wanted you to read the other
supposed
side.
to read the other side.
The
okay.
other side.
Yeah, they took a lot of time thinking about this. Here's a 3-2 pitch. And Perez again breaks his bat. Carpenter makes the play. And it brings in Alex Rios. Ballpark Village, by the way, and AT&T rooftop. This has the authentic shop. You also have the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum. There's Fox Sports Midwest live inside Ballpark Village. Yes, you're on camera. Start waving. That's pulled fair down into that left field corner. Off the bat of Rios. Holiday has to dig it out. Not running even close to 100%. That's something to keep in mind, especially late innings. Rios now with a single and a double.
Hanging breaking ball, stays in the middle of the plate, but it starts up the shoulders instead of starting about belt tie and below. Hits it down in that corner. And I'd say Holiday's supposed to, by design, not push it. That's tough to do. You're a competitive athlete and you have that leg
really
injury.
Tough.
You're not 100%, and to stay under control and not. The idea is like, okay, 70% is better than someone else's 100%. So Mike has been very emphatic, telling everybody that I will take him right the way he is, and I don't want him pushing it at all.
Omar Infante at the plate. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out, runner at second base. That's Rios. Ground ball up the middle and taken there by Colton Wong. Rios advancing to third on the play. 2 outs. Especially with an American League team coming to a National League park, their pitcher has to hit. That's Chris Young, who has spent time in the National League. But you've got first base open, runner at third. Just something to think about with John Lackey in this at bat.
Most definitely. You don't always want to just give in and put a guy on, but you do know that that's your third out. if you have to go that direction. If you fall behind, don't groove a pitch. And Dyson is also been the hero the last couple nights for the Royals.
The face of the franchise in many ways for Kansas City is Alex Gordon, left fielder that's hurt. Now Dyson taking his spot.
This couple of years, he's tremendous speed.
Also played Paulo Orlando in left field. And those two have produced since Gordon's been out. Pitch misses in. 2 balls and 1 strike. So here's what we're talking about. You fall behind in this at bat. Let's see how Lackey approaches it.
Well, and you watch Molina. He'll probably even set up. One of those times he'll set up almost like it's a right-handed batter's box. Or is he going to come in? But
way in. 3-1.
Lackey wanted that one, but it appeared to be low.
That might be one of those where it is a strike, but because he sets up so far inside, it's tough for the umpire to get a true read. Sets up outside and gets that call.
But see, that's a pitcher's pitch right there. They didn't care if they walked him. Of course, they're trying to get him out, but they're trying to keep it from putting something down the middle. And see, that's the thing here. Umpire looks over the inside shoulder, and the ball right in front of him, pitch before was a strike. He calls it a ball. The ball outside, they can't see. They guess at it.
And a 3-2 is a breaking ball that's blocked very nicely by Yadier Molina. Second walk issued by John Lackey. We talk about Molina and Perez and most innings caught in Major League Baseball this season. That's presented by DraftKings. And now it's runners at the corners.
And we're talking about that they don't go real deep. A lot of times you're young, so here you're going to say now you bring up Morales, your DH, in a situation where Cardinals were not expecting this, but remember there's still 2 outs, so you go after it. So Young's through.
Interesting move.
Yeah,
this is his big bullet off the bench. Kendrys Morales, 240 as a pinch hitter, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. Normally serves as the designated hitter for Kansas City.
You don't, like I said, Young. You think of him a 5 inning, maybe 6 stretching it, and here's where you got a 7-run lead in your division. You can make this move. Got a chance to get ahead in this game, so they're going to go for it.
You can make this move if you have a rested bullpen as well, or you turn it over to one of your long men to give you some of these innings. It's the type of game that, if you get back in it, turns out to be an extended game, you bring out some of your better relievers, it's a chancy move by Ned Yost.
Yeah. First 2 games of this series, and we're talking about this is the 3rd game of the June series. It was rained out. Morales was 0 for 5. He's hit .361, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs in his career, 11 games against the Cardinals.
That was Chris Medlin.
Remember him, former Atlanta Brave.
He's getting loose in the pen, a right-hander and a 1-0 pitch. Fastball and a strike at 92.
See how they set up inside? So that outside pitch, they kind of have to guess at. And the pitch that's inside, like they get a good view of it, they seem to miss frequently. Like this one here.
And that's driven out to center field. Grichuk with the catch. Royals will strand 2. Midway through 4, Cardinals on top. Anaheim and the annual induction process that gives fans a voice in honoring the team's greatest players. The 2015 induction class has been selected. The Cardinals and Edward Jones select Kurt Flood, George Kissel, Ted Simmons, and Bob Forsch. That's coming up in early August. That'll be a great day here at Ballpark Village. Last year with that first class of Mike Shannon, Jim Edmonds, Willie McGee. Tremendous event inside Ballpark Village. And we'll have that again this year. There's Chris Medlin, a Chevy called to the pen. Multiple arm surgeries, and now he's back in the big leagues, and give him credit for getting here. Many thought he was done.
Yeah, and they signed him knowing that he wouldn't be able to pitch for a while. There you see Chris Young. He's 3 innings for Young, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 1, struck out 1, and allowed the 2 two-run home runs. But Medlin's had 1 appearance out of the bullpen, and they're hoping that he could be one of the answers in the second half with their rotation.
Randall Grichuk with a 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning. Grichuk, Wong, Carpenter all with 10, trailing Peralta's 14.
Medlin, 2012 for Atlanta was 10-1. 2013, he was in the rotation, 15-game winner, and then Tommy John.
That little cutie enjoying baseball tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Grichuk, with Johnson on deck and then John Lackey. Very interesting move by Ned Yost to go with Morales, the switch hitter. That's his big bat off the bench.
Yeah, he had 1 shot at it, and Morales hit the ball, but line drive with 2 outs there. Now he's gone.
And a 2-2 pitch from Medlin. And a base hit into center field for Randall Grichuk. 2 for 2 tonight.
Randall Grichuk has made a couple adjustments. Look how he lays that bat back, quicker to the ball, and just a real short stride, under control. Actually, his home run, he was a little bit out on his front foot.
Yeah.
So it was still surprising that he hit it at that velocity. But that one, a little more balance, and another hard hit ball. The ball just jumps off his bat. And he's a very good fielder, base runner.
Inside to Dan Johnson. Flied out to right, first time up.
Johnson, a lot of big league experience.
Here's a 1-0 pitch, and that scoots through the legs of Perez. Grichuk to second, Grichuk to third.
Don't see that often, right? 2-base wild pitch. Down in the dirt, goes right underneath him, and then now he can't find it. And of course, Grichuk looks in here, and he made the decision. He takes off and goes to third, a heads-up base runner. How big is that play?
And a pickoff down at third, and they got him. How big is that play? Grichuk at third with nobody out. Wow. Salvador Perez picked him off.
They may want to question this, as C.O. Kendo told Grichuk to stay there at third.
Quick tag here by Moustakas as well.
Kind of hard to tell where his hand is.
Those replays, you know, sometimes you get a look at those and you have that view where the shot is blocked and you can't see it. Here you can. I think he's out.
Sure look like it's hard to tell when the tag was really applied, but I would say the same thing, but he wanted to challenge it.
I could see why, too. You're up by a couple of runs. This is a big play with a runner at third and only one out, or rather nobody out.
Let me say Grichuk is thankful that they're going to at least challenge it. Perez loves to throw, just like Molina. Always trying to get that guy off base.
That cannot happen. Nobody out, runner at third, and you get picked off.
In that view there, it looks like he gets back. But really tough to say.
You think about opportunities in this game. The Cardinals picked up the 2-run homer by Carpenter in the third, then the double by Holiday, and they don't bring him in with nobody out.
Right.
And now this play could go against St. Louis as we are in the midst of the most exciting, intense play in baseball. The challenge.
At least over here at Ballpark Village, you get a chance to get a hot dog or some food, drink, whatever you want. So it's an advantage of being over in our seats.
I just don't think that there was a replay that showed definitely that he got back in safely.
Which happens frequently and kind of hard to overturn it if you don't see something that's definitive. There's the umpire, was right there. And so was Oquendo. Oquendo must have thought enough to tell Grichuk to stay there. Our decision.
That is a big, big play by Salvador Perez.
Little note put in there, but yeah, you say, where are you going? Take your secondary lead. Boy, from that one, it looked like he did get back. On that side, it looks like he's out, because you can't see when his hand hit the back.
And a strike to Johnson. 3 balls, 1 strike. John Lackey is on deck. There you see the shift used by the Royals. And quickly now 3-2.
Johnson hit 18 home runs with Oakland back in 07, 15 and 05. 3 different times he was a minor league MVP of the league in the minor leagues, and he was.
First walk issued by Medlin. And it brings in John Lackey. This could be key plays. Think about that third inning. Man at second, nobody out, don't bring him in. Then Grichuk at third, nobody out, picked off.
Go back to Sunday's game, with all the missed opportunities in the 18-inning affair.
Lackey is bunting, and it's bunted in the air, so Hosmer makes the catch. You could see that he was thinking about letting that drop, too.
Yeah, but Medlin did what he was supposed to do, elevate that ball and get a pitcher to pop it up. Keep the bat barrel, keep the barrel higher than and everything, but you can see pop it in the air like that with a ball that's high in the strike zone. It's tough to get down on it.
Are you okay with Medlin wearing your number 39?
When he gets people out.
You want to see just BP fastballs right down the middle?
No, I'm just saying that I enjoyed wearing 39 for Kansas City. I had a lot of fun over there, but when somebody's wearing your uniform number, you like to see him do well.
0-1 pitch. Now 0-2.
Jamie Pogue has not disappointed me yet.
He is the bullpen catcher of the St. Louis Cardinals, and he wears number 39.
There's Jamie.
You'll see a lot of 39s tomorrow. Your bobblehead night here at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
And the 0-2 pitch to Colton Wong. Bounced foul. See the bullpen this month. The Cardinals at Kansas City. Most innings from their bullpens in the top 5 of Major League Baseball. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that was the other reason I was thinking that, you know, with Ned Yost.
Right, going to it.
Yeah, you're asking an awful lot on your bullpen now.
I got Joe Blanton down there, and then like we said, Medlin, who he's brought into this ball game. You know, trying to get him healthy, coming off Tommy John.
Wong off the end of the bat into shallow center field, and there's Lorenzo Cain. That's 3, Lorenzo. We head to the 5th. Top of 5. And it's the top of the lineup for the Kansas City Royals. Escobar, Moustakas, and Cain. We'll get the chance to visit with Jim Hayes coming up. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's taken low. Lackey with 3 strikeouts tonight, and 2 of them have been against Alcides Escobar. Chop towards third, taken there by Carpenter. Without further ado, the great Jim Hayes.
Yeah, we're enjoying the AT&T rooftop. That's Joni, Janie, Edward, and Jenny. Joni doesn't want to talk to us. All longtime Cardinal fans. So, Edward, you told me you've been to some 800 Cardinals games, never to the AT&T rooftop. So what are your thoughts?
I like this place. Everybody's attitude is first class, like Piper Chapman at Litchfield Prison.
I don't really know what that means. What do you like about it?
The bathrooms, the food. The view is great. You get the crowd, you know.
You put the bathrooms ahead of the food, really?
Well, there are drugs in the bathroom. No, I'm just kidding. No.
All right, now, Janie, I'm cutting you off right there. Now, Janie, you're the wife of Edward. What's it like being married to that guy? Because he seems a little different.
It's very crazy. He's always up to something. He's always got something going on in his mind. He's always designing something or inventing something.
I'm going to tempt fate and go to the well one more time with you. Edward, longtime Cardinal fan, what do you think of this year's version of the Cardinals?
Classic. Go to bat. We had 2 home runs tonight. That's what it's all about, right?
Classic, go to bat. Well, you guys keep enjoying yourself. Dan, you have it. Classic, go to bat.
Well, I tell you what. If that doesn't sell some tickets tonight to the rooftop deck, nothing will. Let's see. We've got the bathrooms ahead of everything.
I'm afraid to touch anybody.
Boy, Jim, you know how to pick them.
Yes, thinking that part.
Wow. Can't wait for
the next one.
Jim's 7th inning interview. Oh, boy. Hit to the right side. We could have gotten away with the first one. It was rained out. We had to come back. $25,000 fans ages 16 and older receive their Lou Brock bobblehead. It's courtesy of Lindenwood University, and the bobblehead features Brock changing out of that Cubs jersey, revealing a Cardinals uniform underneath. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. You think I'm kidding? I really cannot wait for Jim's next interview. Now the cat is getting his picture taken with a number of the fans up here, and that's part of the experience of the AT&T rooftop. Get the chance to hang with Jim Hayes. I mean, how good is that?
It was insightful.
Here's Carpenter in the bottom of 5. A 2-run homer back in the 3rd. Carpenter, Holiday, and Peralta. Popped up left side and out of play. The 2-2. And Carpenter hits a slow roller to second base. 1 out. What's on Tap is presented by Budweiser. Tim Cooney trying to pick up that first major league win. Will come your way tomorrow at 6:30. It's the Budweiser What's on Tap.
He's gotten better each time he's taken the mound. Tim Cooney still looking for his first decision. And how about tomorrow we'll get the first decision being on the positive side.
That pitch taken low by Holiday. Think that interview from Jim is going to gain any traction?
I think it's going to be a permanent. Should be on his resume reel.
This man on the street kind of interviews that he's able to do.
Not everyone can get that kind of information out of people.
Oh, he got plenty of information out of him.
You did not enjoy that
No,
that
we-
interview with folks?
We did.
Longtime fans that are just sampling the AT&T rooftop. What, Al?
I thought it was very informative. They were great Cardinal fans.
We're very pleased. Again,
put that on the demo reel, right?
Yep. Some of the other fans might not appreciate that being represented.
I thought it was
Cardinal
great.
Nation.
I really did.
Thanks for the support. Always. Thanks for the support.
Really good stuff. Here's Johnny Peralta. 0 for 2. He's flied to center and popped out to first. Holiday has been on base now 3 times. Pair of walks and a double. I thought the chef was scintillating, and this one has taken it maybe even a notch further. One ball, one strike. And Peralta pulls it foul. Half the man he used to be down there, Jose Oquendo. Back to running again and in great shape. One and 2 the count on Johnny Peralta. Taken down and in. Runner at first is Holiday. Ground ball. Certainly they could get the lead man with the way that Matt is running right now, around 70% or so. The 2-2 swung on and missed, and a strikeout of Peralta. First strikeout for Medlin.
Coming off Tommy John. Like the change up there. And signed him to a 2-year contract with an option year, knowing that trying to come back with Tommy John. Former teammates here. First tomorrow night starting will be a lot of teammates, former teammates for Hayward.
And Hayward takes a ball low.
Atlanta surprised a lot of people early in the season. You know, a lot of people thought that they were dismantling that ball club, trying to rebuild and plan for when they moved in their new stadium. what, 2017? But now they're 5 games under 500. Find themselves 7 games back. Washington has started to take control of that division now with their great pitching, but Mets aren't going to leave.
There's a fly ball lifted the opposite way off the bat of Hayward and taken there by Dyson. We enter the 6th. Cardinals on top. It's 4-2. In particular, look at what he's done here at home with the 1.91 ERA. That's what really stands out, just how well he has pitched at home this year.
Also the fact, too, Dan, that he doesn't give up many home runs. He doesn't walk a lot, and he doesn't beat himself. Had the struggles there in the first inning. 3 of the 5 hits were in the first inning, both runs, and then it's shutout baseball. And you love his attitude. He feels that if he doesn't go 7 innings, he hasn't done anything.
Eric Hosmer at the plate. Off of Johnson to Wong to Lackey for the out. Just like you draw it up.
Yeah. But, as you know, Colton was moving in the right direction. Ball hit that way. Deflects off of Johnson. Get a better look at it right here. Hopefully he got a little glove, but Wong was right there, and so was Lackey. Give Lackey credit, too, that he continued moving in that direction. And a heads-up play by Wong and Lackey.
Ever since Jim's interview, my understanding is the tickets
have been selling.
Oh, they're skyrocketing.
Well, they got a good deal.
Great bathrooms.
So we heard.
And all you have to do is go to cardinals.com/TV.
And you get that special deal, right? To upcoming series or games.
Here's an 0-1 pitch to Perez. Line drive into right. There's Hayward diving for it and comes up short. Perez to second base as Hayward went for it, and he'll stop there at second. What an effort from Jason Hayward in right field.
Dan, as a pitcher, you really do appreciate one of your fielders giving that extra effort. And really, you think about it, he tries to catch this ball. Perez wasn't going to get any more than a double. If he would have, he may have gotten a single, but it was worth that effort. Jason's a 2-time Gold Glove winner. He thought he had a shot at it. He leaves his feet just beyond his glove, but he got back to the wall quickly, retrieved it, got it in, and holds him to a double. But with 1 out, Lackey will just have to pitch around it, but he'll appreciate that type of special effort.
Here's Alex Rios.
Remember,
and a strike.
You got a right-handed batter, so a ball that hits to the opposite field. You get a good look here the way the ball's going to slice. And watch this ball just keep on slicing away from him. Pitchers don't get tired seeing an effort like that. And you want to pitch around and make sure you show him that you can allow that double with one out and he doesn't score.
A strike to Rios, now 0-2.
He's had his problems with Rios tonight. 2 for 2. Drove in one of the 2 runs in the first.
There's 3 consecutive singles back in the first inning. And those 3 coming with 2 outs to drive in the 2 runs for Kansas City tonight. Tying run at the plate. Man at second. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The AT&T rooftop. Come on, give us a smile.
Little princess there.
One smile, come on. They're trying. And the 0-2 pitch to Rios. It's such a good play there by Molina.
Yep. Just kind of take it for granted. Runner in scoring position, ball way out in front of the plate, breaking ball. You're not sure how it's going to spin, but with that good technique, he blocks it, keeps it in front of him, no advancement. Now, Perez is one of the, an outstanding, and he's kind of the Gold Glove bearer in the American League. And you saw the 2-base pass or wild pitch that he couldn't block in the dirt, but he made up for it with the pickoff.
2-2 the count. And again, time is called. Cardinals trying to make it 61 wins. First team in the big leagues to 60 with that dramatic win at Chicago last night. The 2-2. We talk so much about the young guys and the amount of innings with them. What about for John Lackey? A ton of miles on that arm and that shoulder. You talked about it. He's 36. Does that become a factor down the stretch?
It's a good question, but I think in his case, I really think he'll hold up.
Chopped to Peralta. That was like off the old turf at Busch Stadium too.
It was.
These are the games that you can get those tickets to the AT&T rooftop tonight for $79, specially priced. Really a great way to take in a game. Cardinals.com/TV. The full bar is set up. You've got the buffet open throughout the game. All you can eat and drink. Cardinals.com/TV.
Some of those good opponents too. Giants, Nationals. Rockies are a fun team to watch, and the Reds.
Boy, what are they going to do down the stretch?
I was going to say, who's going to be still on the Reds team when we see them? We see them next week.
Dippin' Dots on this warm night here at Busch Stadium. 1-0 pitch to Infante is popped up. As Molina will give it a look behind home plate.
Reds will be in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for Colorado. Great homestand. After this game, we got Atlanta for 3, Cincinnati for 3, Colorado are in for 3, 4. 4-game set. Quick trip to Cincinnati and Milwaukee. Come back for Pirates, Miami, and San Francisco. Take you up to August 19th. Cardinals with their great record at home, 33-12. They can make they can put some distance between themselves and their competitors.
One and two, the count on Infante. Now time is called.
See, the first he threw 30 pitches there. In the fourth, it was 20. Everything else has been outstanding. Less than 15, you're doing good.
And a ground ball hit to Peralta. And Lackey is through 6. Royals strand a runner. 4-2, St. Louis. The Build-A-Bear Workshop is coming up for 12,000 kids, 15 and under, entering with a ticket. Receive their very own limited edition mini Build-A-Bear Workshop bear featuring the alternate jersey. That's also photo day here at the ballpark for the kids. Get here early, first come, first serve. Build-A-Bear Workshop Day is coming up. Franklin Morales, the left-hander, is in for the Kansas City Royals.
Got out to a slow start this year, but been pitching much better.
Yadier Molina. Molina, Grichuk, and Johnson for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 6th. We're at the AT&T rooftop. Interesting move at the time. Ned Yost pinch hitting for Young, his starter, in the 4th inning. Young had given up a couple of home runs, but he had 2 runners on and a chance for Kendrys Morales, the switch hitter, power hitter, to do some damage. And he lined out to deep center, and the threat was through for Kansas City.
Mentioned Morales. First 14 outings, he had a .409 opponent's batting average. Last 21 outings, they're hitting .140.
The 2-0 pitch, now 3-0. Well, anybody would get on. Potentially, you'd have the chance to bring up Lackey's spot. The Cardinals are thinking along those lines as well, potentially, and get somebody loose. 3-0 pitch, now 3-1.
House hadn't pitched since Sunday.
And a ground ball that's hit to short on a 3-1 delivery. Molina grounds out, and there's one away.
Had a 1 ERA in his last 21 appearances.
But again, it's one of those games where the Cardinals have not cashed in when they've had the opportunity to extend this lead. And Kansas City hanging around. It's 4-2. Their bullpen thus far has done a nice job.
And Kansas City's got an offense that does score late. So this game is very much in the balance.
1 out, nobody on. Here's Randall Grichuk. Grichuk tonight with a 2-run homer to get the Cardinals on the board and tie the game up at 2. That was in the second inning. Then he singled, advanced on a wild pitch to third, and then was picked off. And a high fly ball into deep right field. Rios is back at the wall, and he's got it. Randy Choate getting loose in the pen. What do you think of these throwback uniforms tonight? You like them?
I think they look great. What I was familiar with. I can remember the very first time we saw the pullover nets. It was the Pittsburgh Pirates. We thought they were pajamas. You know, they were, but then once you wore them, they really are comfortable. And I go back to the flannels. My very first uniform was the old wool flannel uniforms, and I mean they just.
How'd you guys do it?
We were on turf. I asked Dave Duncan one time. I said, "How did we do it back then? All the games in the turf and wearing those hot uniforms." He said, "We didn't know any better. You know, we didn't. You know, we were talking about you like the black shoes," and I said, "Well, put those on turf." And they weighed about 5 pounds each.
Here's a ground ball that's slowly hit up the first base line in a 1-2-3 inning for Morales. We head to the 7th. St. Louis on top, 4-2. Along with Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Here's a look at our Kia in the driver's seat. Most games allowing 2 runs or fewer. The Cardinals ahead of the next team by 10. And that's Tampa Bay, then Kansas City, then the Mets. The pitching all around for Derek Lilliquist's staff has been so good. And while we have a moment, let's check in with Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
I think we're in safe territory here because we're talking desserts and some of the offerings at Cardinal Nation with Cardinal Nation GM Sean Baker. So what do we have here?
Well, we have two of our signature desserts here. The first one is the Hank's Triple Play, which is made right here in St. Louis by Hank's Cheesecake. We have the chocolate cheesecake, the Cardinal Red Cake, and then traditional regular cheesecake, all dipped in chocolate ganache.
So that's like, what, 40, 50 calories?
At the most. Yeah, at the most. Nobody.
It looks great. What else do we have?
And this is our Cookies and Cream Crunch. It's just Oreo cookie cheese, cream cheese, wrapped in phyllo dough, deep fried, and served with Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream.
And of all the things you offer at Cardinal Nation, which is the most popular dessert item?
Without a doubt, the Triple Play has become our most popular dessert item.
Before I let you go, anything you want to say to make it a little bit uncomfortable in this interview?
No, I think I'm going to keep it clean for you, if that's okay.
I think I will, too. Danny, beautiful desserts, and let's just get out of it.
Right.
I'm
Any
disappointed.
chance to go back to that family?
I'm disappointed.
I mean, the dessert interview was great and all.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
We were waiting for something special.
We just get maybe one more family that Jim can interview. That'd be the icing on top of the cake.
Very good.
Thank you. Here's a 1-2 pitch. And Lackey thought he had strike three. Doesn't get that call. I asked John the other day, I said, do you realize how much you're staring back into the umpires? And he said, you know what? I'm older than a lot of these guys now.
Well, and you do kind of have a tendency you can sway their opinion a little bit. Yachty's back there subtly working the umpire, trying to expand the zone. And when Yachty sets up out there and he hits a target, it does kind of send a subliminal message that it's a strike.
High chopper to Lackey. Out number one.
How about John Lackey once again? Here we are in the 7th inning. Under control, 103 pitches.
This will be a pinch hitter now. Paulo Orlando. Remember, Al, when we were in Kansas City, we saw him. Made 2 starts in those 3 games as Rios was coming back from injury. They feel with Dyson and Orlando, they've got it covered at least for a while until Alex Gordon would be back.
Yeah, they're missing a big all-star and a big part of their bat, but like you said, you just try and get what you can from these young kids, and some were 3 times in his last 8 games. Got 5 triples. Collected all 5 in the first 7 games in the big leagues. He made an impact when he first came up.
Good pitch. Breaking ball and a strikeout for John Lackey. Cardinal fans, did you know the StubHub app is personalized just for you? Now with the StubHub app, you can select your favorite teams and artists and discover new ones too. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals.
You were talking about Lackey, and at his age, built for the long run. Well, he's built for postseason. And that's one of the things. So he's going to keep himself in shape. Wants that ball in the postseason. Closed out 2 World Series. Rookie year with the Angels. And then, unfortunately, 04 with Boston against St. Louis. But
well, especially if you get the schedule where it lines up and he pitches here at Busch Stadium. You'd have to take a look at trying to do that.
Yeah, I mean, he's so effective here at home that would be a wise decision. Not that he can't win on the road, but why not use utilize where the numbers are. And
he walks him. This could be his final pitch of the night. Did you get the feeling his final batter of the night right here with Moustakas on deck?
I think that's it. You know, he's had great success in his career against Escobar, and he's dominated against him tonight.
Slowly hit left side, glove by Carpenter, and just got him. Moustakas left on deck. Time to stretch, and the stretch here by Dan Johnson. Got him by a half step. 4-2. Is upon us. Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation if the Cardinals can hit a home run this inning. They've hit 2 tonight. And the Royals go back to their pen.
Coach Shaver, former #1 draft pick, #1 overall for the Royals. And taking care of the umpires. Boy, you know, it's a beautiful day, a beautiful night. Not too hot, just perfect. Those umpires stay on the base and stay out there in the field all game long. Gorgeous pinch hitting.
Coach Shaver, former #1 pick, has found a home now in the bullpen. Peter Borges pinch hitting for John Lackey, and what a job by Lackey tonight. Shaky first inning with the 3 consecutive hits with 2 outs that led to 2 runs, and then after that shut the door. Coach Shaver, when right, has got really good stuff.
I think, like you said, he's found a home in the bullpen, and he's done a nice job there.
Fly ball, shallow left center, and the catch made by Dyson. Let's take a look at our Mazda game summary tonight. Chris Young, the starter of Kansas City, only lasted 3 innings. Ned Yost with 2 runners on went with Kendrys Morales to pinch hit for him, and his night was through. The move did not pay off. Then Perez 2 for 3. Lackey the 7 innings. And Carpenter 1 for 3 with a 2-run blast. That put the Cardinals up 4-2, and that's where we stand right now.
Well, Shaver made a successful transition to the bullpen in 2013 after 5 seasons in the rotation. Missed all last year with Tommy John surgery.
The crowd tonight of 46,003. for 6,003. 24th sellout this year.
Cardinals, how about 2 years? Last year and this year, never played in front of a crowd below 40,000.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
What were the biggest crowds that you would see? And I'm not talking about an opening day for you, Al, but back in the 70s, as long as a base hit, what were the biggest crowds you'd maybe get?
Well, I would say more the average would be more like 25,000. You know, and that, well, it actually wouldn't be quite that high because we'd be about 1.6 million.
Yeah.
And there you see the breaking ball starts about shoulder high, comes all the way down to about the knees, but he did a good job right there keeping his weight back, hands back, and pulled the trigger. That little one.
One out, one on. Here's Carpenter. And it's a wild pitch. And advancing on the play, Colton Wong. So again, the Cardinals with a runner in scoring position. It's been a long night for the catcher, Salvador Perez.
Right at the back foot, and
so they want to visit here, go over the signs.
Up.
Yeah.
Or because now he's at second base, go over the sign. But how tough is it to go over that before the game?
So let's just say you were in this example. Well, you're a bad example because everything was a fastball. But if you're talking about a guy that's got multiple pitches, did you see that many visits? It was mostly decided then. They knew how to change the signs, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you could do it. And sometimes, you know, a catcher would do it by, you know, even back behind the plate. You start out and say, okay, the first sign would be if I touch the shoulder. The second sign if I go to my waist. Third sign if I go to your knee. You do all kinds of different ways.
1 ball, 1 strike on Carpenter. And he stays away from that pitch. 2-1.
One for 3, the 2-run home run. Shade a little bit center fielder towards left, but it really seemed like some big gaps out there.
Two-one pitch. 2-2. We saw against the White Sox, they played Carpenter, the right fielder did, in the right center field gap.
They really bunched a lot of the Cardinal hitters.
The 2-2. And the count runs full. Cardinals trying to add to their 4-2 lead. Just joined us. We've had a tremendous interview from Jim Hayes with some great fans up here in the AT&T rooftop. We've had a Randall Grichuk 2-run homer and a 2-run homer by Matt Carpenter. Pretty much sums up the story of this telecast. And I know you agree.
Oh, yes.
3-2 is pulled foul. Oh, nice play, Chris Maloney. Mm-hmm. a swing and a miss by Carpenter.
Sharp 1 for 4, but it was a big one. 2-run home run. Swings that pitch a little bit outside. Maybe Holiday's last at bat. Maybe put Borges out in center field. Move Grichuk to left. Get him off his feet.
And a breaking ball taken up and in by Holiday. Two and 0 the count.
Holiday's walked twice and he doubled.
Runner at second is Colt Wong, and here's a 2-0 pitch to Holiday. Matt has had a good night with those 2 walks. Line drive off the base of the wall and left. And on base 3 times.
Just his presence back in the lineup really helps the Cardinals. Mentally, it's very lifting.
Here's a 3-0 pitch, and he walked him. Peralta, very good numbers against Hochevar. You wonder if the Cardinals would pinch run for Holiday in this spot.
Well, I think they will, and they are right now.
Yeah, there you go.
And Carlos Martinez.
Interesting to see that too.
Man, a little risky, but Martinez is a very good athlete. But whenever you put a pitcher out there to run, you just got your fingers crossed. So Matt on base 4 times. Johnny Peralta, this to me is one of the best statistics about him. We know how well he's hit, but he's hitting .372. That's first in Major League Baseball in the 7th inning or later with 19 RBIs. So he comes up with those big key hits. Talked about that steady presence. He doesn't get too high, too low, just and never takes a batted bat out to the field.
Runners at first and second. 0-1 pitch to Peralta. And a ground ball that's chopped to short, flipped to second. We have played 7 here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The Cardinals 4, the Royals 2. 8th inning coming up. St. Louis with the lead over Kansas City as we move to the top of the 8th. And Randy Choate is now into the ball game for the Cardinals. Welcome back to Cardinals baseball. We head to our studio in a Bommarito Sports Update. All right, that's our Chevy call to the pen as Randy Choate will take over. 47th appearance for the veteran left-hander of St. Louis.
Hard to believe he's never faced Moustakas.
Does he face Kane and then Hosmer and stay in the game? Randall Grichuk with a home run tonight. Now he shifts to left field, takes over for Holiday, who walked 3 times and had a double. And Peter Borges stays in the game after flying out. He's at center. It's one of those cases where this is why you do it as a manager, but you don't stack, you try not to stack lefties back to back to back. Mix in a righty in there. And a fly ball that's lined into right field and a base hit. Moustakas, and the tying run will come to the plate. That may be your answer there. You won't let Choate face a right-handed hitter, Kane much less, who's got a little pop, and have a chance to tie this up.
Didn't quite get the ball far enough away, and Moustakas drills it into right. So Mike Matheny will go to the bullpen, bring in a right-hander for Kane. Manis will come in here, and how about a double play?
Our Chevy call to the pen. We'll find out. Tying run comes to the plate when we come back. Change up, ground ball usually after ground ball. That's what he'd love to get right here.
And he'd like to get that ground ball double play, as you said. Of course, Lorenzo Cain has faced Seth twice. He's 1 for 2 against him.
See the numbers though against Manis, and on paper it doesn't look all that great, but then you realize all the double plays that come into activity with him on the mound. Strands a lot of runners, and night after night he answers the bell.
That is true, and you're a little concerning about his 48th appearance, that That's why Bilal and Walden will really help when they come off the DL. Cut down on the appearances.
0-1 pitch to Kane. Now make it 0-2.
Now Seth, when he makes a mistake, he gets hurt. But it is a little concerning when you say batters overall are hitting .313 against him, and righties .327. But as we have documented, nobody gets ground ball double plays better than Seth.
Fly ball lifted into right center. Peter Borges under it. One away.
Well, you want a ground ball, you got to keep the ball down. And that ball is right middle. And Lorenzo Cain, yes, he missed a pitch. But at times, you'll throw a pitch and a guy should have just crushed it, and he doesn't. Now here's the other side. Now Seth actually has better success against left-handed.
Why do you think that is?
I just think that he throws a lot more change-ups to them, or for some reason, it's hard to explain, because in a general basis you would say the left-handed hitters are low ball hitters, and Seth is wanting to keep the ball down.
(2-0). That portion of the strike zone is shrunk. The outside portion to lefties, where Lackey was getting some of those calls, and then it stopped midway through, and Manus hasn't gotten a couple. Go back there again.
And that's what you just asked for, a consistent strike zone. You don't want to see it change late in the ball game. Hitters can deal with it if it's always consistent. May not like it, but they'll make adjustments to an umpire's strike zone. And pitchers have to either take advantage of it or.
There's your ground ball, but there's your base hit. Hosmer aboard for the second time tonight. Pair of singles, a run scored, and it brings in Salvador Perez.
And we may be just thinking along here and see the sinker, and it's going down. It's right off the end of the bat, really just well placed. Hit a spot where nobody defender's at. But I was thinking that initially you might say, okay, you got Segrist that would come in and face Hosmer, but maybe Segrist is going to be the closer tonight with Rosenthal throwing the last 2 days.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are trying to stay away from that at all costs. 3 days in a row. He's been dealing with the tender arm coming out of the All-Star break. I'm with you. I think they look at Segrist for the ninth, and then however they get there, they get there. But
you see,
very well could be Segrist.
But you see that compression sleeve on Segrist's left arm.
And Rosenthal is stretching.
Well, he's probably doing that because he's trying. It's his time to kind of stretch there. But
there's a broken bat. Could it be 2? 6-4, 3 on the double play. Got him to reach a broken bat. Manus comes in and does the job. We're midway through 8. 4-2 St. Louis. make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. The AT&T rooftop. Ballpark Village, that's where we're at tonight. Al has been signing autographs. We've had some fun up here. Chevy called to the pen. Herrera, the hard-throwing right-hander, is in. ERA that's under 2. 43rd appearance for the Royals righty out of the pen. Jason Hayward will lead it off for St. Louis. Rosenthal is getting loose in the pen.
We kind of saw the compression sleeve on Segrist. He pitched actually the last 3 games. Did have the off day on Monday in there, but Rosie will make him 3 in a row. But he only threw about 10 pitches last night, so talked to him after the game, said he felt good.
So it looks like it stays with this lead. That'll be a save situation. He comes in. Hayward 1 for 2 with a home run against this right-hander. One ball, 1 strike. I'm sure there's going to be some emotions tomorrow for Hayward facing his former team, the Atlanta Braves. Cardinals will see Shelby Miller, who's part of that deal. He'll pitch for Atlanta on Saturday. The 1-1.
Same for Shelby Miller coming back here. And one thing you try to do is you don't try not to do too much. You know, it's just human nature. You want to prove to them, say, you made a mistake, you let me go, I'm going to show you why. You're better off just trying to just play your normal game.
Hayward goes to the opposite way, and Moustakas positioned perfectly. Well, that's the one time he says, a pitcher, boy, I like that shift.
Yeah. And another ball going to the opposite field, but Moustakas right there. Moose comes down with it.
Now it's Yadier Molina. Molina is 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and a ground out. Hits it the opposite way, slicing near the line, and a sliding catch, and what a play by Rios in right field. That is an outstanding catch in right from the Royals right fielder.
And where was he playing? He had to be right on the line. A couple feet on the grass, because must have saw that triple that he hit last night right down the line right there. Of course, he has long strides, makes a very nice play.
You think about the fact, too, he's not used to this ballpark.
You don't realize how quickly that ball comes there, and you saw it has padding, but about the bottom 6 inches does not. And that's where his ankle, you know, his legs slid into the concrete part, but very nice play there.
That gets by him, and Molina's looking at back-to-back games with a triple. So here's Grichuk, who's 2 for 3 tonight. His home run back in the second tied the game up at 2, and then it was Matt Carpenter with a 2-run homer. That's where we stand right now. It's 4-2 St. Louis. Once again, Cardinals.com/TV to access specially priced AT&T rooftop tickets as we wind down our telecast here from the rooftop.
Royals have done very well in interleague play. They're 11-5. The Cardinals are 10-9.
Two and 2.
Louis with a victory here today would be 34-12. Playing here at Busch Stadium in front of these great crowds. Can't tell me it hasn't had an impact. An impact in the win-loss call.
Two-two pitch, taken in the dirt. So 3-2 here on Randall Grichuk. The one time he did make an out, he hit it to the wall in right field. Three-two pitch. Waves at it. Perez chases it down. Off balance throw, and the stretch by Hosmer. Royals showing why they're considered one of the top defensive clubs in all of Major League Baseball. The play of the night defensively, Alex Rios in right. Tremendous catch, sliding into that sidewall. Rosenthal coming on when we come back. All right, wish you were here, Pat. Cardinals 53-0 with leading after 8 innings. But tonight they'll call upon again Trevor Rosenthal. Royals 0-33 with trailing after 8. Rosenthal is tied in the National League for second in saves. He's 29 of 31. But the last 5 games, opponents hitting .444 against him. ERA in 5 innings is 9.
I took the beating in Pittsburgh right before the break. Had a long layoff. And he's come back and pitched well. He got his 29th save last night. The Pirates are leading 7-3, so he could tie Melanson for the top spot with 30 saves.
Up the middle, Wong ranging, throws to first, safe. Leadoff man is on. Tying run will come to the plate.
Good effort there by Colton, trying to do everything he could. Rios having quite an inning. Very nice play the other side, and now he picks up his 3rd hit.
Omar Infante. The fans start to get into this here in the top of the 9th. Fastball at 96.
Ponte is 1 for 2. A double off of Rosenthal.
The Kansas City fans with the rally caps out. Rosenthal would love the double play. And Fonte with no home runs this year.
It's over 320. Let's see, 323 at bats since his last home run.
Has grounded into 6 double plays. 1 ball, 1 strike. The next by Rosenthal. Lined into right center field. That's trouble. That ball is down and to the wall. A run will score for Kansas City. Infante on his way to third with a triple.
Makes it a little more interesting. Fonte, it was the 323 at bats, 324 this year. It's well over approaching 500 at bats since his last home run. But a triple right here cuts the lead in half and puts the tying run right there at 90 feet away. Infield in. And you got one of the speediest runners at home plate.
Dyson at the plate. 4-3 St. Louis, showing bunt. Spins away from a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. He has the ability to get out of this jam. But boy, he's made it a tall order.
Yes, he has. You're talking about a strikeout pitcher. Of course, he grew up in the suburbs of Kansas City. Dyson had a key bat earlier this week that helped propel them to a victory. Collected 2 go-ahead RBIs the last 2 nights for Kansas City. Something with a RBI bunt hit single.
Check swing. Did not go. 3-0.
Dyson is 8 RBIs during the month of July after driving in 4 runs during the first 3 months of the season.
Royals had this situation yesterday. 3-0 pitch. And he walked him. Nobody up, so they want to talk about the situation here and exactly how they want to approach it in terms, I'm sure, of, you know, you're thinking double play depth, you're thinking about the play at the plate, potential of a squeeze. I mean, all these things that come into play.
Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. But Mike also wants to impart a very positive message with Rosenthal. Joe Torre used to always say when he brought in Big Lee Smith, he said, I bring in Lee and I stop managing. Sometimes some games you have to manage when the guy doesn't have it. In the case of Rosenthal, you know, he's kind of going through this little period where he's not 100% healthy. Pitching for the 3rd day in a row.
Infield in, the speed of Dyson certainly comes into play at first base. There he goes.
Yep.
No throw by Molina. And I'm sure that's part of the conversation too.
You know, that's the potential winning run right there.
Right.
And they just kind of let him just have the bag. Nobody out. This is Coleman. Dusty Coleman.
Runners at second and third. 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Coleman made his major league debut July the 3rd as a pinch runner, so he might have some pretty good speed too.
Still looking for his first major league hit. That one caught Molina. 1-2 to count.
Split time between Northwest Arkansas, that's AA, and Omaha AAA. Hit .303, 17 doubles, a triple, 7 home runs in 69 games between the two stops. AA All-Star with Midland last year. Midwest All-Star in 2009. Out of Wichita State.
One-two pitch. Got him. Strikeout for Rosenthal. Think about how Ned Yost used his bench earlier in this game. And that was with Kendrys Morales. And you said it at the time, Al. We both were surprised he was going to use him as a pinch hitter that early in the game.
Yeah.
You know, he had that bullet to use, his best guy off the bench. Used him early. You would have loved to have used him here.
Yeah, he was down by 2 runs at that time, and he had 2 men on, so he could took the lead. But like you said, be a big different situation if you would have had him, an experienced veteran hitter, and a tough one.
Here is Escobar. Fastball at a strike at 97.
Now, Dan, you get into a situation like this, Rosenthal, and once you get that first strikeout, you know, all of a sudden you start feeling like, okay, I can do it. I've got, you know, I can see how I'm going to get out of this without them scoring the run. Then you have to do it. But first you have to be able to envision it.
Escobar is hitless tonight. Fastball misses away. He struck out the first 2 times, then grounded out to third twice. Again, the Cardinals infield is in. 4-3 St. Louis here at the top of the ninth.
Speed on the base paths and speed at home plate.
The 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lackey was able to get Escobar to chase on that slider in the outer half. Would they do that here with Rosenthal, or does he stick with the fastball?
You know, you just got to be careful. You know, you want to. You know, Gotti's the best of blocking, but you just worry about trying to overthrow an off-speed pitch.
And the 1-2. Oh, with a changeup.
I thought he might go the changeup, but there you see he bounces it in the dirt, and a good job of blocking it. And that skipped off the home plate, so you really kind of stayed down, and Gotti was down too.
2-2.
If you could get him to expand the zone, a high fastball. There's took the fastball out there and he got a little piece of it.
The first strike that was called on Escobar was on the outside portion of the plate, a little bit high, and he motioned that he didn't like it.
Right.
You know, he was upset that was called a strike, and the Cardinals went right back to there.
Well, a pitch that's up at the top of the strike zone where as hard as Rosenthal can throw, will get that pop-up or a strikeout. Take either one.
2-2. Ground ball left side. Carpenter to the plate. The tag is there. A throw to third, and back in safely is Dyson. Now he's just 1 out away from pitching out of the jam.
Ground ball here. Go right to home plate. Plenty of time to tag him, get it out. Then you thought about getting the return, but he's too speedy. But then you can see if you can get Dyson around the third base. So Yachty always aware of what's going on the diamond. Now with 2 strikes, Moustakas up. Yachty going to talk it over with Rosenthal. Juan will come in. The infielders come in to kind of see what they're thinking about.
A man at third, nobody out. We said it'd be a tall order to get out of this jam. Well, now he's 1 out away from doing it. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Moustakas 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts against Rosenthal. Fans on both sides of this rivalry on their feet.
Cardinals got what they want, and you'd have to think that the Royals are happy to have Moustakas up there with a chance to either tie it up or deliver the go-ahead run. So it's all about right here. Two teams that could match up again in postseason. Well, be the World Series, wouldn't it?
First pitch popped up. Carpenter over. Does he have a play? Leans in, out of room. Strike one.
What do they say? The biggest pitch in the game is strike one. Got that. Pretty good numbers right there. Talk about 2 outs. Runners in scoring position. This is a team that doesn't quit.
Molina setting up outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sometimes he sets up so far outside that you just wonder why. You have an advantage. Now you come and give it, you negate it a little bit by throwing a pitch so far out of the strike zone.
The 1-1. Strike 2.
Right on that 98-mile-an-hour fastball, right over the shoulder of Yachty with that foul ball.
Stadium right now electric. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. And he did not go. And again, what a stop by Molina. That saves a run.
Can't emphasize enough how important it is to be able to feel like you can bounce a ball with that tying run at third base and know that it'll be blocked. Not all pitchers have the luxury of having Yachty back there or someone as good as him.
Can he put him away on the 2-2? Molina almost held on to it. Says, give me the ball. I'm all right.
With all these pitches down, got 2-2. Can elevate a ball and see if you get him to chase. See, foul this pitch. Boy, it didn't look like it changed direction at all, did it?
If he did, he barely got it. It's another 2-2 pitch. On its way. Ground ball. There's Wong from the outfield grass. Got him! The Cardinals hold on. Win number 61 for St. Louis. And the Cardinals are 34-12 here at home. Hard fought, you bet. The Cardinals hold on. Let's turn now to our Budweiser player of the game, and it's John Lackey. What a ball game, huh?
What a fun ball game this was. The Cardinals behind Lackey. He picks up his 9th win. The bullpen was good. Rosenthal bent, but he didn't break. And the Cardinals come up with a big one. And this is maybe another showdown. We may not be through with the Royals this year.
Regular season, that's it for Kansas City here in St. Louis. The interleague rivalry between the two. Always fun to see them in town. Cardinals win it 4-3. Postgame show comes your way next.